I'm Lily and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm speaking today from a completely different location, completely different country, got a new haircut, the sun is shining, all very exciting. So I'm currently in Austria, actually staying here for a little while in the beautiful house of a friend that I met through the world of knitting Instagram. So I'm just ridiculously grateful to be here, having the best time. I've been here about a week already, just over a week. Have a few more days here yet, absolutely loving it. I am staying in Graz. Hopefully that pronunciation is okay. Been working on my German and my pronunciation and everything while I've been here. So yeah, I've been sharing lots on Instagram where I am at Lilykatemakes, been kind of spamming the travel content on there as well as the knitting, lots of stories of I'm taking pictures constantly all day basically because it's so beautiful here. So if you like that kind of thing, come and have a look. But yeah, I thought I'd film a little podcast episode while I'm here because it's been a while since my last one. So hence the different surroundings. It is so cute. Marie's apartment is just, it's so pretty. Everything's lovely here. I've had the best time. I'm so grateful. So yeah, just thought I'd check in from a different location for a change. I've shut the doors even though there's the most beautiful bird song all day. I thought it might be a little bit annoying in the background of a video. I don't know if this is going to be echoey because it's quite a big room. I've not got a microphone or anything like that, so I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully it's not too annoying and hopefully I won't get too warm because it's actually been boiling while I've been here most of the time. It's a little bit cooler this morning actually. It was kind of lightweight sweater weather for the first time as opposed to sunny little summery knits weather. So yeah, I wore my aerodome sweater for the occasion this morning and now it's really warm again, so thought it was appropriate to wear one of my new finished items that I have. Did I show this last time? No, I think this was still in progress last time. I have 3 new finished items and a whip on the needles to share with you today. So yeah, I'll just get on with it. The first being my one that I want crop that I made during my knit along in April, which was just, the one that I want crop can. It was a bit of a mouthful, could have probably thought of a better hashtag, or really should have done, but anyway, it's over now. So yeah, quite a few of us knit these crop tops. So this is my pattern that I originally wrote last year. This is actually the 3rd version I've made. The first I made in one solid colour with a contrast edging, the second I made in all black, and then this 3rd version has pinstripes and a lace-up back detail. So I used I-cord there. So the original had buttons at the back. This time I just left it open, crocheted around the edge and did a 3-stitch I-cord. So the main body was done in a DK weight yarn, and quite a substantial DK weight, verging on a worsted I would say. And then the white stripes on the actual body were done in another DK weight yarn, and then the tie at the back was done in a 4-ply because I didn't want that I-cord to be too bulky. I thought it might look a bit clunky if it was. So I'm just looking at, I can't tell if I like my hair with it behind my ears or not. It's a new haircut, I've only had it a week. But I've had a bike helmet on all day, so it's probably not looking the freshest right now, but sorry if I keep faffing. I've kind of not quite got used to it yet, so I'll try to stop doing that. My watch thinks I've just done some steps. It's just to get them down. It's congratulating me for moving, not like I've already done 9,000 steps already today. Anyway, yeah, so I finished this a little while ago. I made the size 1 instead of the size 2. Not because I'm any smaller, I'm not. I'm consistently always a size 2 in my own patterns. That's always my starting point, which is the 32 to 34 inch bust. However, on this occasion I wanted the straps to sit a little bit further apart than they do on the original. The original one, it was kind of supposed to be right along the central bra line, sort of princess seam line there. Whereas this time I wanted the straps to sit further out, kind of as far out as they could realistically go without falling off the shoulders was the goal. I think I did talk about this last time, I'm fairly sure I did. Yeah, so I made a size 1 and then added extra rows in here. I didn't add quite enough rows in because I wanted it, well, I didn't add quite enough rows in for it to meet in the back, as like the original version, because I knew I was going to be doing the lace up anyway, so I kind of wanted it to be a bit smaller and have that bit of wiggle room at the back, and I'm really happy with it. I might wear it out later actually. I've worn it a couple of times at home, like with a shirt over the top, but now I have some proper warm weather here, although I am having to be careful with my shoulders because I am pale and burn easily, so all these strappy knits might be great, but I'm then having to wear a linen shirt over the top because of the back of my shoulders. So the next couple of projects I have to show you, this one was definitely on the needles in my last podcast. This is my upwards top. I don't know, do you call it a tank if it's kind of that shape? I feel like a tank I associate with being a really sporty shape, and this isn't necessarily. Tank, top, vest, whatever you want to call it. You know the drill, this kind of thing. So it is worked in one skein of 4-ply weight yarn. Can be worn with the keyhole either at the front or the back. And this is a very neatly satisfying applied I-cord edging around the keyhole, around the armholes. Very, very satisfying to make. And I have made one version there and then another version. The colour's the opposite way round. So I wore this one the other day actually, and you can see that as I've worn it, the rib has sort of loosened up a little bit at the bottom. I haven't actually worn this one out for the day yet, and I'm slightly nervous to do so, and certainly won't be doing with white pants, because even just after wearing this one, I had blue lines on me here, like quite distinct blue lines. And when I blocked this, the water went bright blue. When I was knitting it, my hands were stained blue, so could not recommend this yarn, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking when I do wear this, I'm going to have to wear some, I think I might wear it around the house with navy joggers or something like that, or like low-waisted pants that won't reach it, just in case. And we'll see what colour I look at the end of the day. So yeah, because the edgings on this, I don't know if you'll be able to see, they are now nowhere near as white as, I mean this isn't bright white, it's obviously like a lightish blue anyway, but they definitely were stained. So when I blocked this one, I held it here, dunked this part, so this all got a proper block because that was obviously fine, and then laid this out flat and then just sprayed on this part, so this did not get wet at all because I did not want to take that risk because it would just be ruined. So yeah, that is currently, I need to go through the test knitter applications and send the pattern out. Been writing that up while I've been away. Like while I've been here, I've still been doing pattern writing, and I've got 2 new designs out and various things like that. So luckily yesterday I had a really busy day of admin, pattern release, emails, everything like that, and it rained all day, so that was convenient because it meant I felt like I wasn't missing out on being out in the sunshine. So yeah, need to send this one out to pattern to testers. It's called the Upwards Tank. I kind of felt like it had I don't know, I liked it. Upwards towards the face kind of diagonal lines. I don't know, I'm just kind of plucking words that sound nice, sound right. And someone did point out, well, isn't it from the top down, so downwards would have made more sense, but whatever. We don't always have the most logical approach to pattern names. But yeah, that's those 2 recently off my needles. And of course I brought plenty of items of knitwear here with me. I've worn a few of them. I have wanted to wear like lightweight dresses and stuff on hot days as well, so I haven't been wearing my knits all the time, although of course I did want to get photos with the nicer backgrounds because all my knit photos pretty much are taken against a white wall at home, and that's boring. So, you know, an opportunity to have a change. Of course I was going to take it, so I brought plenty here with me. Another one that I will just quickly mention, because I have spoken about it before, but the pattern is now actually available, is my Take Turns tank. As of yesterday, the pattern is available. So this is the one with the stripy 3D business on the back that had to be ripped 50 million times and then finally turned out right. So it has a sort of subtle racer shaping at the front with kind of a slightly 90s kind of sporty shape, but nothing too extreme. And then the armholes are a right angle at the back. Obviously as you wear it, that corner kind of softens, but it is nice little, does have nice mitered shaping there, which is very satisfying, and then a rolled edge. So yeah, super nice and lightweight and summery to wear. I wore this for a 40-kilometre bike ride the other day, so whatever that says about it, it's summer activity appropriate. Yeah, and I wasn't too hot, so I do love it. Lots of wear out of this one. The test knitter versions all look so good. I'll try and insert some photos, possibly here, possibly I might just link to my Instagram. I've got so many photos and videos and things to add in, but I kind of don't want to spend my last couple of days here editing video, so maybe I'll add those next time and just give you a link for now. Yeah, loving it. Uses 4-ply weight yarn. The pattern is now available. So this pattern and another sweater, the Draw the Line sweater, which I will insert photos of because I haven't brought it with me. It's long sleeved and I just didn't think that it was going to be that useful in this weather. So photos here. Both patterns are available as of yesterday or as of the 25th, whenever I end up posting this video, on Ravelry, Payhip and Etsy, all the usual places. And for the first, well, for this week, ending on the 29th, if you buy either of those two new patterns, you will get an automatic £3 discount on one of the older patterns, one of my older summer patterns that is. So that's only on Ravelry, unfortunately, because Payhip and Etsy don't allow you to set up that kind of promotion, annoyingly. So unfortunately, whilst they are available on the other platforms, the discounts are only on Ravelry. So yeah, if you're interested in any of the old ones and the new one, now is the time to get it by Sunday the 29th of May. It definitely wasn't planned, but everything I've made at the moment is kind of got a bluey, purpley, whitey, grey colour palette going on, including the other sweater that I've just put out the pattern for, the Draw the Line sweater. That was actually, I knit that one 3 years ago. Only just got round to writing up the pattern. Not the best system there, but it was one that I knit when I was kind of returning to designing before I properly got my head around the best work process for me. So that was when I was knitting for myself, writing kind of basic notes, but I didn't have like a system in place for write this, then this gets put into this document, and then I grade this here. So it kind of was one of those things that I just kept putting off. And then eventually realised, you know what, this is just being silly. I've got an item there that could be a pattern, could be part of my collection, and it's just sat there. So 3 years later, I finally wrote it up. I changed the construction ever so slightly. From when I did it, I made the sleeves, I did it sort of as a yoke and then separated. So, not as a yoke, sorry. It was a contiguous set-in sleeve, so it's done all in one and then divided here. Whereas in the pattern, I used a different method where you pick up around the armholes after. So the end result is exactly the same, but done in a slightly different way because I prefer that method now. I think it's more flexible and it grades more easily. So my original sample is ever so slightly different in construction, but if you look at the photos of my version and the test knitter version side by side, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference. So luckily it doesn't matter that mine was 3 years ago. No, there's just my little pile there with my grey top that I'm wearing, my white whip that kind of goes with it, the other pattern that also fits with the colour theme. So just evidently that's the colours that I'm drawn to at the moment. Funny because last year I did loads of pink. This year I'm kind of on a blue hype. I don't know, I might actually sit in it now once I've shown you my latest whip. So I've been here in Austria. I arrived last Wednesday. So Wednesday was quite a long travel day for me. I say quite long, it's not that long really. I flew from Manchester, which luckily wasn't as horrendous an experience as the news had made it look like. All those videos of Manchester airport queues being like 5 hours long, got straight through with no problem. So I was quite lucky there. But yeah, so I had a flight to Vienna and then I'm staying in Graz, so I had to get the train from Vienna airport into the city centre, then a 2-hour train through the Austrian countryside, which was just the most beautiful scenic train journey ever. So as you can imagine, I was like knitting about 2 stitches and reaching for my phone to take a photo or a video. So yeah, it was fairly slow progress there, but I'd been knitting on the plane. I was doing some pattern writing at the airport in the morning, and then I had to get the tram and then a bit of a walk, so it was kind of a long day. And since then, I have been knitting in snippets, like here and there, and now I've managed to make some decent progress, but if I show you the item first actually, then it'll kind of make sense. So I'm kind of working on a hybrid construction of sorts, where it started as a yoke, and then it became a set-in sleeve after that. So we kind of have a yoke, then short rows and increases, and then joined together, and I'll show it in far more detail when it's actually complete and I've done a bit more. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. Probably wasn't the ideal travel project, is what I was getting on to say, because this top section I'm kind of alternating between two different yarns, different needle sizes. The yarn and the needle size don't change on the same round. There's increases, changing rates of increases. So whilst the actual knitting is reasonably simple, it didn't particularly lend itself to it being a project that was constantly being put in a bag and carried around and then got out again, because every time I picked it up I was in a tangle. So I don't know how people do it if they knit colourwork projects on the go, because I just kept getting in a mess. So every time I pick my knitting up to sit and knit in the park or something, which I've done a few times, that's been one of my favourite pastimes while I've been here, just sitting in a sunny park and people watching and knitting, so it felt all very idyllic. Apart from the fact that I was just sat there with a strand of mohair and a strand of cotton in a mess, trying to untangle myself every time. So now that I've made it past there, and I'm just on to like smooth sailing through the body, fingers crossed smooth sailing, it's a bit simpler now because I'm just one needle, one yarn. So yeah, I obviously have no name yet because I always come up with names ridiculously last minute. Hair stuck in there, always hair in my knitting. And I'm undecided on what to do with the sleeves. I originally thought short sleeves, and now I'm thinking maybe either like literally one round, picking up and neatening that edge and that's it, and leaving it there, or billowy 3/4 sleeves. I don't like the idea of just little short sleeves. I think that would be getting into the territory of nothingy, neither here nor there. That's exactly what I try to avoid. So yeah, I'm kind of not feeling that idea, even though that's where I thought the design was originally going to go. So I think it's going to be either the tiniest cap sleeves or longer. I could just finish off the sleeves, take some photos, and then finish off just an edging, taking some photos, and then undo that and make proper sleeves. Then I've got photos both ways, and then the pattern could go both ways. That is an option, but I don't really know which version I want myself. So I'm undecided. I'm going to just knit through the body for a while. Yeah, I have, what day is it now? It's Thursday today, and I fly back on Monday, and I've just got some straight stocking stitch to work through. I have the train journey back to Vienna, and then a couple of days in Vienna. So unless I sit on the train taking photos every 2 seconds again, which is quite possible, then I should be able to make some decent progress there. So I don't know whether... Is anyone else like this? Like, you're trying to calculate where you'll be at with a project, like, right, so when I'm going here, I will be up to this point, and that's ideal for this, but not for that. And I'm thinking, right, I need to have got past any fiddly bits by the time I get on the train, and that means I need to have this yarn with me and that needle, but that one can go in my main suitcase. And like, trying to figure out the logistics of it is it's so complicated. As I only actually cast this on the plane on the way out, which was again not ideal. You don't want to be having to do all the calculations in the casting on stage when you're in transit, so that was slightly poor planning on my part. Because I quite often, like I have tried this on, I don't know, at least 20 times so far. I just keep holding it up here because I love it. I'm constantly doing a couple of rounds and then checking, is it heading in the right direction? Do I need to change these short rows? Do I need to amend the way I've done that? Or, you know, thinking through all these things. And that's not ideal when you're travelling. So now I'm thinking, should I have something else as my travel project? But then I want to get this done. I'm basically thinking out loud because I'm staying here on my own for a week, and whilst I have met friends, and I have been FaceTiming my friends and stuff like that, obviously I'm not normally on my own, so I feel like I'm not getting my words out. So here we are just rambling away. Yeah, it's strange. I'm not normally on my own. I live with my family, so I have my mum, my dad, my brother to chat to all the time. It's a change. And the one thing that I'm like not very good at is cooking for one person, I found. What do you do with an onion? This is a dilemma I was having last night. I'm used to almost cooking things in 4 people quantities. What do you do with a tin of tomatoes? I don't need a whole tin. All these things, I don't know. How do you do them for one person? So that's one of my dilemmas. Meal tips for one, please let me know. Anyway, we've ended up on onions from knitting, but my backup plan, of course I had to bring backup yarn. Didn't want to bring too much because I was trying to bring enough clothes for 2 weeks of potentially rain or potentially bright sunshine. So I've brought a coat that I've not worn, I've brought a waterproof jacket that I've not worn, I've brought various pairs of socks that I've not worn because I've just been in sandals, but you know, if I hadn't brought them it would have been horrible weather, wouldn't it? You could guarantee. So I didn't want to use that much suitcase space on yarn. However, I did bring an emergency skein of sock yarn, you know. An emergency sock yarn you have to do. Didn't bring any emergency needles or anything with me this time because I knew I was staying in a knitter's house. So I was like, you know, if I forget a darning needle or a stitch marker or a needle gauge or a tape measure or any of these little items of knitterly paraphernalia, it's not the end of the world because I'm sure Marie will have one. And I didn't even have to bring wound yarn because I could use her winder as well. But yeah, this is my emergency skein of sock yarn that is super pretty. It's from Cocon Yarn, which is the same brand as this that I used here, the merino linen. Try and leave those neatly folded. That I purchased from Tangled Yarn a few weeks ago, which is a yarn shop in Stockport. It's mainly online only, but Rachel, the owner, has recently moved to a new premises where you can request to go in. It's not got a shop front as such, you have to kind of go through the, it's like in a business park, but it's lovely when you get in. So would definitely recommend a visit if you're in the northwest region. Some beautiful yarns in there. And I've been looking for a little while actually for just a light coloured, either slightly speckled or semi-solid sock yarn on this. This is my favourite kind of base, the 100% merino, the bouncy twisty ones. I prefer this to a 75-25 nylon blend for socks, just I like how it knits up. And yeah, I wanted something light and with a bit going on colour-wise but not too fussy, because I found I've got loads of bright coloured socks, and I mean this is not what I'm wearing at the moment, but in winter when I'm wearing like ankle boots with sock poking out the top, I found I was always reaching for the same pair which my mum knit me a couple of years ago, which had cream around the top and then a band of red and a band of blue, but the part that you could see peeking out of the boot was just a neutral. So I would always wear that just with my normal outfits, with jeans or leggings or anything like that, in a way that I wouldn't wear my bright pink socks or bright green or anything like that. Like, if that's your style, fair play, that's your thing, but for me that was, the pink socks peeking out was not, it's not really my thing. So I thought, right, I need more neutral socks. It's kind of been my go-to thing that, oh, if I have a skein of wacky yarn, then it's socks. Because wacky yarns that I wouldn't wear anywhere else, I would wear as socks. But I realised I could do some more subtle ones. So this is the skein that I finally found, the kind of thing I had in mind. So I might make a pair of either my sun-up socks or after-hours socks, which I've chatted about in a previous video. It's the heel construction that I kind of fiddled around with, where I use a German short row heel with extra shaping. So it has a really nice fit. So I might use it for those. I might try and use that heel construction again in a different sock and come up with something different. I don't know, but then it becomes not an ideal travel project because you have to think, so I don't know. We'll see. That's a long way of saying I might cast on some socks for the flight home. So yeah, and then after I get home, I'm home for like 5 days, and then I'm actually going away again to visit another knitter and meet up with another knitter. So I'm going to Amsterdam at that time. I'm so excited, cannot wait. I haven't travelled at all in the last, well, I've been in the UK and to Scotland and Wales and stuff, but I haven't been on a flight, haven't been out of the UK for 3 years or so, much like many of us, I'm sure. So it's a bit exciting. I'm kind of saying yes to these opportunities to go and meet people and do fun things. So it's just, I love that these are people I met through knitting Instagram, and then we get chatting, and then it's like, oh, well actually, this could kind of work. How about you come and stay here? Oh no, why there? How about you meet up with this person? And there's just so many lovely people in the world of knitting, and it makes me very happy. So hopefully it'll be a summer of meeting up with loads of different people and going to different places, and I cannot wait. So I think I probably rambled enough now. It's getting really warm in here. Hopefully this isn't too echoey. So if you have any recommendations for either Vienna or Amsterdam, they are my next 2 locations. I think by the time this video goes up I'll have left Graz, and I've been here for like 10 days, so if you have any recommendations for here, it's probably a bit late, but I have found a couple of yarn shops, of course, done lots of wandering, made some friends, been out, done fun things, taken loads of photos, done some knitting, got some work done. It's been all good. And I'm rambling again. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you from home probably next time. Bye!